The Festival of Different Faces, the one light behind them. This is a story about three Angelteers who arrive at a dazzling festival where every group is celebrated for what makes it different from everyone else. Their 14th miracle-minded adventure begins when they discover that differences in form can be enjoyed without becoming walls in the mind, and that beneath every costume, language, talent, and story is the same shared light. The three Angelteers entered beneath a rainbow arch. Every street had its own color: blue for musicians, green for gardeners, red for athletes, gold for scholars. Spider spun in a circle. This village has organized everyone by flavor. A festival guide handed them ribbons: adventurous for Spider, thoughtful for Squirrel, and powerful for Howler. Howler admired his. At last, a category with dignity. A bell rang. Parade groups, everyone to your proper section. Musicians marched left. Gardeners marched right. Visitors were sorted by age and language. Spider looked around. Where do we go? The guide frowned. You three are difficult. We've heard that before, said Squirrel. At the center of the square stood a fountain with 12 separate pools. Each pool had a sign: ours. A young girl carrying a violin walked toward the gardener's pool. A guard stopped her. Musicians over there. But my grandmother is sitting here. Different group. The girl walked away. Squirrel watched her face. What are you feeling? Spider asked. Sad. We're using difference to separate. An argument broke out near the parade route. The athletes wanted to lead because they were strongest. The scholars insisted knowledge was most important. The gardeners said everyone depended on food. The musicians played louder. Howler nodded. That is one strategy. Squirrel became still. A faint fragrance of orange blossom drifted over the fountain. He breathed in. What is this for? No answer came as a rule. Instead, he noticed the water. 12 pools, one fountain, different basins receiving the same flow. Look, said Squirrel. All the pools come from the same spring. The guide nodded. Of course, it runs beneath the whole village. What if we notice differences without using them to decide who belongs with whom? The guide blinked. But then how would we celebrate everyone? Spider grinned. By actually meeting each other. The Angelteers joined the parade preparations. Spider joined the musicians with a spoon. Howler carried baskets for the gardeners. Squirrel helped the athletes repair a broken wheel. Soon the groups began mixing. A scholar helped a drummer count a difficult rhythm. A gardener showed a child how to graft a fruit tree. The violinist returned to her grandmother and played beside the green fountain. No one lost what was unique. Different languages still sounded different. But difference no longer had to mean separation. The mayor climbed onto the platform. We still need one group to lead. Everyone began arguing again. Spider pointed toward the fountain. What if nobody leads alone? The mayor stared. That has never been done. Howler smiled. Excellent reason to try it. The parade began with every group side by side. It was gloriously untidy. One drummer walked too fast. A wheelbarrow squeaked through a flute solo. Howler joined the children's dance and refused to leave, but nobody had to be above or below anyone else. At sunset, the Angelteers removed their ribbons. Adventurous, thoughtful, powerful. Squirrel held his ribbon. Useful descriptions sometimes. Spider nodded. Not definitions of what we are. Howler looked around the fountain. Different bodies, different voices, different talents. Squirrel watched the same water spilling into every pool. And none of those differences change what we share. For a moment, the festival became quiet. Seeing no differences did not mean pretending forms were identical. Blue was still blue. Music was still music. It meant refusing to let those differences hide the sameness beneath them. The violinist offered her grandmother a cup of water. After drinking, the grandmother handed it to the guard who had sent the girl away. He accepted it. No speech was needed. The Angelteers walked out beneath the rainbow arch. Spider looked back. I like different colors. So do I, said Squirrel. Howler spread his wings. Especially red. They laughed and continued down the road. Different forms, one shared reality. Miracle-minded remembrance. Different forms do not change our shared reality. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.